Hello my legends, welcome to another tutorial on part 2 of how to make your own custom Avatarify on Zoom, Skype, Slack, Teams, whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? Because it's just a virtual output. And it's probably, I want to appreciate all the viewers, 28,333, really appreciate it. Hopefully I can continue to do these videos. This one's a year old, so it's a continuation of it because I've had, if you look in our comment sections, we had nothing but issues from various different people, and it's really hard to service those things. And to me, it boils down to your environment. So this video is going to be a twofold, which is this intro here is, if it's not working for you, I would double take a look at maybe some third-party apps you're using. I'll give you an example. The earlier video I produced of this one, I scrubbed it because I had a program called VirutalCam, and it was a third-party thing that I prior to the pandemic starting, I was using it for Teams, and I just like the control of it a little bit better. But obviously I've changed and went back to OBS. I've always had OBS, but continued to use it even more because it's a way more powerful tool. And but because they were conflicting, and so I just removed it because I don't need it anymore. And I just stuck with the basics. And so that may be the other thing too, which is I don't know your system environment. I don't know what kind of dependencies you have, if there's any Python scripts you're having, if you have any things that could be conflicting with the base, which is mine works because I don't have anything that conflicts. Like I do Python stuff, but I do all my programming within Docker, right? A Docker or a WSL or something like that, or I run it up in the cloud. I use Visual Studio Code, and I'm connecting to a cloud service, and I'm running and I'm pushing those things out like that. I don't want anything tampering with my systems. I like keeping it as clean as possible. So if you're having problems, I would suggest that's probably the number one issue you're having, is you have something on there that's causing a conflict. But I'm going to walk you through the dependencies, and we're going to walk you through how you should, if it is a clean, relatively clean computer, in the sense of you don't have a lot of third parties, you don't have anything fighting for resources, then it's going to work because mine's working. And like I said, I'm like the best user case for this because I don't like running a lot of stuff that I feel is unnecessary. So first things first, download and install Miniconda. I recently upgraded to Windows 11, and when I shot that a year ago, I was on Windows 10. There's definitely an update. This was July 21st, so I start there, download this. Once it's downloaded, you go ahead and run it. As here, we'll walk you through part of it. So next, I agree. I did all users, and then I hit next. You just say, yeah, I'm going to cancel out at before, but on your, you'll hit finish and let it go through. But I'll show you what happens next here as it goes through. Oh, and there could be a problem too. I'm running Anaconda. Yeah. I'm running Docker. So let me close out my Docker. It's eating up resources, obviously, right? Okay, so then you need to tell it where to install. I just did mine in my C drive. So we'll just do it in my H drive for now. Okay, so right here, do not click this one. Do click this one. So we'll leave that clicked. See, you can see it was already there. So I'm going to hit cancel. So just make sure you're just doing this one and then hit install and you're good. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this. That was it for that dependencies. So for step number one. So instead, I was going to throw it on my Notepad++, but I realized that it's hard to read. So we'll do this in black. So number one, install Miniconda. We did this one, right? So we're done. We can move on. Number two, install Git. So go to Git. Boom. Git-scm.com/download, and then win, because it's a Windows. If you didn't go back and install it on another device that you're using. I did 64-bit, so go ahead and click that, go through that. There's nothing special there. Go ahead and hit next, and finish, and you'll be good. I don't need to walk through that one. Second one, so let's bring that back up. Number three, press the Windows button and type on Miniconda. So Windows, Miniconda. I always run my stuff in elevated mode, so run it as an administrator, and when you do that, it pops up like this. Inside of here, what I did is you're going to copy and paste this command, which is git. So git clone https:// and then this URL, right? And paste it in there and then hit enter. I already did that. So when you do that, it's going to take a long time. Or it can take, it depends on your internet. That actually didn't take me that long. And then you're going to change a directory into that directory, Avatarify-Python. When you do, it'll look like this. It'll say C:, and then your username profile. So your profile, it could be, so we'll just represent it by X. In my case, mine is my first name and last name, or last initial. And then Avatarify-Python, okay? Then you're going to do this. This is what takes the longest. This took me at least 15 minutes. So copy script dash like this. Script plural /install_windows.bat. This takes forever. So I'll show you the log. Look at this. So yeah, it takes a long time. So you don't have to endure that pain. I already did it. Once you do it, don't do anything else. Go get a cup of coffee, come back, and you'll be fine. Once that's done, go to download a network weights. So what that does is we'll take you over here, and this can be misconstruing this, because then it'll tell you down here, download it again. But where? Dun, 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 dun. It's right here. Here or here. There's multiple areas you can get it from. So you no longer have to ask the question on YouTube as to where do I get these network weights. They are provided on the GitHub. They take you to another repository and you download them. Okay, and then when you do that, in fact, I'll take you over there. Let's see, it took me here. So we'll click here. It'll try to download it. I'm going to hit cancel, and then it's there. Okay, so once you have that folder, you're going to do the next step here, which is once that's done, you're going to move that pack. You're not going to unpack this. So leave this compressed, and all you're going to do is copy it, and you're going to stick it. I just realized you can't see what I'm doing. You're going to copy it, and then you're going to stick it in that right here, in this path. Okay, your username, and the Avatarify-Python. And then once you go there, you're going to stick it in there. So we'll go users, and then Avatarify-Python. So that was my old version. You saw it back in 2020 of April. But then in this one, and you just stick it here. You just paste it right there. Paste button, and paste it into this path directory. Do not right click and do what do you call it? Show more options. Do not do this one. Do not unpack it. Leave it packed, okay? Once you do that, you're going to go back to our next section here. You're going to run. So we'll do this together, because now that it's in there, we're going to run this command, okay, which is run _Windows. And this is inside of Anaconda, by the way. Wow, I'm having like a brain fart. Okay, bat. If the installation was successful, you're going to see two things pop up. Cam and Avatarify will appear. So this does take a little while. And so for my system config here, I have a Ryzen 7 second generation with 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 1060 Ti NVIDIA graphics card. So yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do or worry about. I do probably, oh, you saw some errors there. So yeah, that was my fault. Try to restart. So that is because I have this. Boop. We'll close out of OBS. I'll explain OBS here in just a second. And the other reason is I'm using it on my cam here. So I'm going to close my cam out. So unfortunately I had to stop my screen grab here because it was grabbing, how do I describe it? It was grabbing my source. So we can't do that. So let's go ahead and run that command again. So this is where a lot of people, or at least I've had a few comments about them having problems with the predictor. And if you're having that problem, try restarting your computer. I may have to do that here in just a little bit as well. But nope, it's going to grab it. Okay, so it's grabbing the camera. I can tell it because on my end, physically, I just saw the camera engage, which means it's going through the process and it's trying to load it right now. And there it is. Hello, everybody. So you can zoom in. So I'm going to take my glasses off, put my hair up a little bit. There, we'll put a, don't laugh at me. That didn't work very well. Just get it out of your face if you can help it. Okay. So, try to angle this a little bit better. And zoom and then hit X when you're ready. So hit X, avatar will come up. And hello, I am Albert Einstein. Now, officially as of today. Thank you for viewing my YouTube video. No, we're not done yet. In fact, my teeth even show when I smile. So it does work. Eye movements works just fine. Maybe I can get back into Arnold. Get a little pump going today. So yeah, based on, sorry about that. That's it. Last year, this year, same thing. We got to do the same thing, right? So, sometimes helping to enunciate to get that mouth moving a little bit better does actually help the avatar, as you can tell there. And then there's just sometimes like Albert Einstein where it just looks natural for whatever reason. Okay, so what do you do from here? So go ahead and download OBS if you haven't. So step, what is that, 5? 7? Step 7. So go to OBS, go ahead and download OBS, which is right here, and download that, install it, you'll be good. Second thing you're going to want to do, you want to go to OBS VirutalCam. Now, the one that is suggested in the GitHub, this is very important. The one that's suggested in the GitHub repository takes you to one that's no longer in use. It doesn't work very well. And it will not work for this particular it just won't work. Okay, so don't try. Just go to this one, OBS VirutalCam 2.0.5. It was produced May 5th of 2020. Here is the forum for it. Okay, OBS-VirutalCam.949. Download this. Hit the go to download. It'll take you there, and then you can download it. And you can see it. It's very small. Go ahead and run it, and once it's run, you're going to see what we can do. So let's go ahead and go to OBS. We'll open up OBS, and there it is, right? It already's on the OBS. It's showing that it works just fine. So that's pretty cool. And somebody's outside. Anyways, so what you'll want to do now is go to VirutalCam. So Tools, VirutalCam. Make sure Auto Start is turned on. Make sure your buffered frames is set to 0. Okay, and that's it. Once that is good, all you have to do is click Start Virtual Camera. And now everything that's on this screen is now live. So we know this by going to Zoom. I have a Zoom meeting later on. It's not in here. I have to join it. But let's just make a new one. No, I don't want to take over my audio source, but we do want to start this, and we want to select OBS Virtual Camera. When I hit Start Video, Shazam! You see now we are on the Zoom, and we are on this right here. So then I can select it and it still comes live over here on the Zoom meeting. And you can have fun. You can go to the directory and go to Avatar. So I'm going to my C, I'm going to my users, I'm going to or in this case your profile, you're going to go to Avatarify, Python, you're going to go to avatars, and in here you can upload any picture you want. So yeah, anyways, probably didn't do a good job. There we go. Blah 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 blah. Or the Mona Lisa, or Steve Jobs, or a really fast Eminem rapper right here. Nope, that doesn't work very well. But anyways, you guys get the idea. So you can drag and drop pictures or headshots or profiles that you want to manipulate into this folder, and then you can just cycle through it. So as long as you select this window right there, the Avatarify, you just hit A or D. A is to go previous, D is to go forward. So if I hit D, I'll go to Eminem, Steve Jobs, you know, and so on and so forth, and I can cycle through it that way. What else? I think that's it, everybody. So now that you know how that works, that also works on Teams. So I'll end meeting for now. I'll go to Teams, not Team Viewer, because it's just another source, and so it makes it really, really simple for your computers to understand that there's a camera, and we're just making a virtual camera work. So we'll hit meeting now. Yeah, start the meeting. By the way, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm trying to help out multiple companies here with our Office 365. So if you're interested or you need some help or additional help with your Office 365, we are business. We mostly do, actually strictly do B2B. So this could be kind of fun if you need some help. We've been around the game for a long, long, long time. Okay, so here we can click on this virtual camera. Go ahead and activate it, and you can see the preview here, and it works, right? So if I hit join now, it's going to put me into the meeting, and I'm now live and can now, you know, mess with people or make the meeting a little interesting, or, you know, whatever I need to do. You know, if I want to write on here, if I want to take off this image, you know, it's live on the meeting. Or if you have some predefined things. Oh, I didn't mention this. Actually, I'm glad we didn't move on. So you're going to want to hit the plus icon. So actually how this, we'll go back to step 5, hit the plus icon. You'll hit Windows Capture. Okay. When you do that, create a new one. As you can see, I already made one called Window Capture Avatarify. Make sure it's make source visible. And that was it. Yeah, that was it. You just need to make sure you do that. Okay. And then even with this one, and then when you're going through it, I had to, so we'll just go to properties so you can see what we did. When you click OK, it brings up this. All you're doing is saying, I'm going to select what window. Well, obviously I want to select the Avatarify window because that's what I'm trying to capture. So you just hit OK, and that's what, and then it instantly dropped me into here. So it does work. It's pretty intuitive. I don't know, again, I know you're probably going to run into errors. My next suggestion to you all is to run this in a Docker. Okay, if you don't know what Dockers is, look up Google Docker. Okay, Docker is the best. Like I said, I use it for everything. Download it. And the reason why this would work out of the box with Docker is just because Docker runs a isolated instance of whatever. So in theory, technically, you could run Windows inside of the Docker and then install Avatarify on a fresh version of Windows or Ubuntu, or if you're a Linux person. Or the Avatarify even runs the Docker. Be ready, and you can just pull it and then just run it. Obviously, you will need to do a little modifications. Again, this can just be another Google search, which is, you know, how to mount. Could be storage. It could be grabbing an output or an input. In this case, you're going to probably want to grab a USB ports, or if you're using it on a laptop, you're going to want to pull in a laptop source for your camera and attach it to the Docker instance here. But yeah, I couldn't speak more highly of this. If you're having problems, you know, like I said, it's probably more or less the issue is you're trying to run it, and who knows what you've installed on your computer after many years of use, right? And so something's probably conflicting, or you don't have permissions, or permissions set correctly. You know, it could be a number of different issues. And if that's the case and you want to get this working, then I would install it on a Docker or even a virtual machine. Are you more comfortable with VMware? You know, I have obviously the paid for version because I'm, you know, an IT professional, so I'm going to have the cool tools and stuff. But you can create a new virtual machine, and then it's a new instance. It's basically like a Docker, but just a little bit different. It's all graphical, and the other one would be command line based, so a little bit different. And then you can run your VMs and run a fresh version of this. And then it has like really simple tools where once you're in your instance, you can grab right here, see, USB controller. So like in this case, I'm using a USB webcam, and I want to be able to grab that controller. And that way when the VM starts, I can just select the Logitech camera, and then it will know. And then I can run those same commands that you saw from steps 1 through 7, and you'll be good to go. So thank you for viewing. I really appreciate the views. I know so many of you have asked me to do an updated version of this because it was produced in March 7th of 2021, and so we wanted to get this out. So please like this and leave a comment, show your support. Really appreciate it. Hopefully I can continue to do these YouTube videos. I do have a lot of fun doing them. It is hard. We are a small Arizona business, and try to get things moving on the business standpoint to produce meaningful content is always a challenge. I do want to throw one last thing out there. So we are I don't know if you saw this or not earlier, but I had a helium shirt on, and the purpose of that is I was a mental reminder for me all to ask you, do you have any suggestions on how do I say it? Creating another sub channel, or maybe even adding on and just creating a separate division for cryptocurrency, right? I mean, it's the name of the game. This world is changing ever so, and everything's going crypto. And shout out to the Helium project. Love it. It's a lot of fun. And so the reason why is it's going to be like an interview / technical channel. So business partners and friends we've started like a little mini club, and so I kind of either want to think of either a new name for the channel or the new name for the YouTube, or fit it into this channel, have like a subdirectory where it would go and have its own following. Because basically here's what it is. I come, and what I bring to the group is my technical experience and background, obviously, right? So the problem with it is that when I had all these new people come into the group and they were interested and they've had a technical background, some of them for 30 something years, and they were not able to do certain things or buy certain altcoins that are not available in the US, or get a head start on some of these releases that are coming out, or projects, or setting up a miner like the Helium networks or the Chia network, or some of these alt projects, right? So we've learned through the experience, because I've had to handhold them throughout it, and even when they got later on more advanced, they've had some problems that literally just stopped their progress. So I think it would be beneficial to share that entire project, all the pain points from the third-party perspective. I would do an interview with them. We would go through it, how we've done solar and battery, and making these miners work as efficiently as possible. I think would be beneficial for the entire community, because that's what this is all about, right? Producing something so that everybody can benefit and make a little money, or have a side hustle, or maybe even a lot of money, because we don't know what the potential or possibility is. So anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Thank you so much for viewing. You all have a great